college, enter a world of possibilities. While crippling student debt after leaving these doors is one pandemic that's already well established in the U.S., what's not often talked about is another dangerous trend: college student hunger.
I've often seen students in my classes, eating chips or something like that. And my first reaction is, oh, it's a little snack. But very often that could be lunch.
We begin with the exploding problem of hunger on college campuses. New surveys show millions of students aren't always sure where their next meal is coming from, and they're turning to unusual sources just to get by: food banks.
17% of all the people that we're supporting each year are college students.
That 17% translates to more than 50,000 students on Long Island, sometimes having to turn to food pantries when choosing between paying the rent or eating, and it's an exploding problem across the country. According to the 2014 Hunger in America report, 4.5 million adults who face hunger are students. Nearly 1/3 report they've had to choose between paying for food and covering educational expenses.
This is Good in the Hood podcast. Our conversation today is with Sean Morrison, the Executive Director of Good in the Hood and Senior Pastor of Cedar Crest Free Methodist Church.
Sean Morrison, you're known for food distribution. The organization you run is called Good in the Hood, and it's extremely successful in reaching people in a community that have food needs. But all of a sudden, you found a whole different neighborhood, and that's called the college campus. Now, I don't get this, but tell us about it.
Well, it's an interesting thing. We had formed a subcommittee that wanted to find innovative ways to reach our community and to bring resources to those in need. That was our primary thing, and we realized that a lot of ways you can do this, but as our subcommittee began looking at it, we encountered Normandale Community College, and Normandale had just at that same time had this sense that college students were hungry. They did a survey actually at that time, this was in 2012, and they found that nearly 25% of those that they surveyed at their college were going to class hungry because they couldn't afford on-campus food options. And so that's a large number. And so all that to say, we began talking and we realized there's a significant need on college campuses. These are the same students that often were getting free or reduced lunches in high school, in grade school, and junior high, and now they're on their own and they can barely afford tuition and books, much less rent, and then, of course, food.
So how does your food program work? I mean, obviously they have food programs there, but you're saying that 25% of these students cannot afford the college campus food. So how do you come in with food to help them?
Well, with Normandale Community College, we do single-serving, non-perishable snacks. These are going to those in need, so it really doesn't compete with the on-campus meal options because these are students that wouldn't afford it anyway. But it's run by students. That's a key thing. We always work in collaboration, and we want participation. And so the school provides the room, and they do the distribution itself. And then the students run that. They take and they do the intakes, they offer the food, and in Normandale's case, it's single-serving items that they can get 3 single-serving items like granola bars, cup of soup, cup of cereal, simple things that can be either prepared with hot water or a microwave oven. And they get 3 a day. We had over 5,000 visits to this last year, just to give you a picture.
5,000. Was this one school or is this many?
Just one school. We also have the Food for Thought program at Metro State University, which has even gone further. Metro State University, we collaborated with them after the Campus Cupboard success and found that not only do they want what we call the grab-and-go single-serving snacks, they have students that need groceries. And so we have a grocery and grab-and-go model at Metro State. And we're serving well over 100 families every month right now.
That is incredible. So you have modeled this at Normandale, but there are other schools, are there not, that are asking for assistance like this?
Yes, there are. And some schools, there's other food shelves now that are working with campuses, college campuses. So we're not the only one out there, and there's several that are just doing a tremendous job. For us, what works is that we provide the external support. We order the food, we pay for the food or raise the support support for the food. Our Shoe Away Hunger helps to bring in funds and resources as we collect shoes, monetize those, and that pays for groceries, thus it's Shoe Away Hunger. Grants, we have to write those, get donations. We're always looking for that. And what the campus does is provides the space. They provide the student and sometimes staff human resource to be able to run the operations, and then they do the actual distribution itself. And so it's a great collaborative. So we always say we have a memorandum of understanding. The college does the internal, and Good in the Hood does the external support.
Now, it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, there are other schools besides colleges that are looking at a program similar to this. Is this high school or other?
There are, yes. It's all the way from elementary, junior high, senior high. There's need for support of food, particularly on weekends. And so we call it the Weekend Pack Program. And it's where we offer weekend subsidies, user-friendly, easy-to-prepare things, because sometimes moms and dads aren't home and the kids are on their own, or there's just not enough to eat. And so these kids on weekends, we pack them on Fridays, and the school uses their staff, their volunteers, or even sometimes there's students, particularly special needs students at one of our school's pathways, and they pack the food. And it gives them a service learning opportunity, and then it goes into those who have signed up for it on Friday before they go home, and they take it home, and they've got some subsidy on the weekends. And we'd love it to be more nutritional. As we grow, we're going to try to make it more nutritional, but we want to make sure they first of all have enough, and then we try to get it more nutritional as we grow. We have 8 schools that we're in right now, and there's 2 more that we're at this point starting a pilot project.
This is incredible. I'm just astonished that this is the best kept secret in academia.
It was a secret. I don't think it's such a secret anymore. There's been a growing awareness of where hunger relief is so necessary. And this is a gateway. This isn't an end-all. It's a gateway because often these families have deeper needs and need other resources, and there's collaboration that can happen. And through these programs, students sometimes share with other students where there's other resources. Students get involved. Families now have a connect point with a place that's a gateway for referrals. And so the food is, it meets an immediate need, and it opens the door for them to have some long-term support and create a chance for them to have sustainability as a family to move forward and to be able to have a better life and a flourishing future.
So how can concerned parents or even concerned students in a school district or in a specific school, how can they get on board with this kind of a program in their own school?
Well, I think the first thing they would want to do is talk to a leader within the school or a social worker and find out if this is an isolated thing or is it something that there's a greater need. And usually the social workers are really aware of what's going on. Then if they were wanting to connect with Good in the Hood, obviously they can go to our website and reach out to us, and we would certainly be able to either try to find out if we can be a part of that, or is there another local food program that's maybe providing that. One, the Sheridan story, does tremendous weekend pack type of programs in elementary schools, and they're in several of those. And so there's ways we can collaborate either by the school working with Good in the Hood or Good in the Hood referring them to another really good program in their area.
And if churches are wanting to get involved, even as a short-term missions project to go to a school, they could probably get a hold of Good in the Hood and collaborate with you, and it would be a great service project.
Absolutely. We always need those kind of things, the people to support us with human resource, to do food drives, particularly single-serving items. Those are really hard to find. Those granola bars, those cups of soup, those fruit cups, puddings, those fruit juices. People want single-serving fruit juices. Those things are just key, and we can get churches, businesses, schools even, who want to do those kind of drives, or individuals. That would make a huge difference, and it can be a great, have a packing party, a food packing party for those missions groups.
So for more information, of course, Sean, we can just go to your website, correct?
Yes.
And all of the information is there about all the feeding programs and the college campuses and the other school programs are all right there.
Yeah, they can go on to goodinthehood.org, and there's a program tab there, and they can learn more about it, and they can learn how to to support it through a shoe drive too, through our Shoe Away Hunger program, which really makes a difference. People collect shoes, and they're able to be monetized, and this all supports hunger relief in the Twin Cities.
Helping others and changing lives is at the heart of Good in the Hood. If you'd like to know more about this value-driven organization, please visit goodinthehood.org.